Saudi Arabia, thanks to its large oil reserves, plays an important role in the international political arena. This country has an impact on other countries of both the Middle East region and the whole world. In addition, Saudi Arabia, like other influential countries of the world, is trying to intervene in the affairs of other countries and influence the internal situation in them. Below we will talk about the main political adventures of Saudi Arabia. 1. War in Syria. Saudi Arabia is trying to influence the situation in Syria, maintaining close ties with the groups that are fighting against President Bashar al-Assad. In particular, last June, the Minister for Middle East Affairs, Tamer al-Sadhan, met with faction leader Deir Ezzar, who controlled part of the country's territory. Ezzar asked the minister for help in maintaining stability and security in the controlled territories. These groups are concentrated in the east of the country. However, the territory is divided and belongs to different warring groups. In general, Saudi Arabia supports groups opposing Assad, not only in words. Arms are being supplied, as well as group financing. Saudi Arabia's main goal is to help topple Assad. 2. War in Yemen. Saudi Arabia entered the war in Yemen in 2015, after the power in the country passed into the hands of the Hussites, which was assessed as a coup. According to Saudi Arabia, it seeks to restore law in the country and operates within the framework of international law. The coalition with Saudi Arabia includes countries such as Egypt, Bahrain, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Sudan, Jordan, Morocco. Large European countries, such as France and Italy, helped the coalition supply arms. In addition, the United States also supplied weapons and provided technical support. It has been officially announced that the coalition seeks to restore the power of former President Hadi. The situation in Yemen has been exacerbated by the humanitarian crisis. At first, there was a shortage of fuel, without which neither telecommunications, nor the healthcare system, utilities could work. In addition, food prices have risen in the country. During the conflict, many civilians died, including many children. 3. Blockade of Qatar. In 2017, a number of countries, again led by Saudi Arabia, announced the severance of diplomatic relations with Qatar, saying that the country allegedly supports terrorism and also intervenes in the affairs of other Arab states. Countries other than Saudi Arabia included Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Libya, and others. A number of airlines have stopped flights to Qatar. All the citizens of Qatar were expelled from the states that joined the blockade, and representatives of diplomatic departments returned home from Qatar. Qatar was given a list of requirements, to which the Qatar authorities replied that they were ready for negotiations when providing evidence. As a result of the blockade, the shelves of goods in Qatar's stores drastically empty, as the country's residents decided to stock up on all the necessary products. Experts note that in this way, Saudi Arabia is trying to become the dominant player in the Middle East region. However, despite all attempts by Saudi Arabia to crush the country with a blockade, Qatar managed to find alternative supply routes. 4. Lebanese Prime Minister kidnapped. In 2018, Saudi Arabia decided that the Lebanese Prime Minister should resign, but it is not so easy to force him to do this from a distance. Then the Saudis went on a cunning plan. Saudi Arabia invited Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri to Riyadh to meet with King Salman. However, upon arrival in Saudi Arabia, Hariri discovered that no official met him. Hariri went to the house where his relatives live. The next day, they showed him his letter of resignation and forced him to sign. 5. The assassination of Jamal Khashoggi. The murder of the Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi took place on October 2, 2018 in the building of the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul, where Khashoggi came for documents. His question was about a divorce from his wife from Saudi Arabia and the decision to remarry a Turkish citizen. A week after the journalist's disappearance, his colleagues from the magazine stated that they had brutally murdered him in the consulate building itself, as well as supposedly the Turkish authorities have video evidence that confirms this. It is noted that these video and audio evidence prove direct involvement in the murder of a Saudi journalist. 15 suspects for the murder of a journalist were named, all of these people directly related to Mohammed bin Salman. 6. Spying on the head of Amazon. Journalists believe that in 2018, Mohammed bin Salman could be involved in hacking the smartphone of Jeff Bezos, the head of Amazon and the richest man in the world. It is believed that bin Salman sent Bezos a file containing the virus through the WhatsApp application. With the help of this virus, Saudi Arabia was able to obtain important data from a Bezos smartphone. According to sources from the Guardian publishers, large volumes of data leaked from Bezos's smartphone within hours. 7. Oil war. According to media reports, Saudi Arabia has launched a price war in the oil market. In particular, representatives of Saudi Aramco announced their intention to increase oil production by 1 million barrels to 13 million barrels per day. Such a statement was made against the background of the fact that on March 6 in Vienna the OPEC Plus countries failed to agree to extend or amend the terms of the agreement to reduce oil production. In particular, Russia refused to further reduce oil production amid the coronavirus epidemic, which negatively affects almost all sectors of the economy, including the energy sector. We remind you that from the 1st of April of this year, the terms of the previous transaction ceased to apply. As a result, oil prices plummeted. However, the situation in the oil market is unfavorable for Saudi Arabia itself. Experts emphasize that if Brent oil is to be traded at $35, then without adjusting spending in 2020, Saudi Arabia will face a budget deficit of 15% of production.